This might be one of the most absurd films we've ever seen from the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Absurd, it takes you for a crazy ride, and a lot of you are going to absolutely love it. And some of you are going to go, what did I just see? What's up, everyone? It's Bobby back with you here. I just got out of a screening of Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, the first screening in Singapore, as a matter of fact. And wow. This is a wild ride. This was not what I was expecting whatsoever. Now, disclaimer, I did see the first 20 minutes of the film about a week ago. And I didn't do any sort of video on that because I just wanted to sort of see the entire film to kind of gather my thoughts. But this is a film that runs about 2 hours and 5 minutes. It is well edited, well paced. It just moves really quickly right out the bat. I mean, this thing just moves. I mean, you're right into it. And it takes you for a ride in a way that we have never seen from any Marvel cinematic movie thus far to date. I will say this though, I'm not going to spoil the movie for you. There are some cameos in there. Some have leaked online, some have not. I'm not going to get into all that stuff, but I will say that if you have not seen WandaVision, watch WandaVision before you watch this, or What If, the two Marvel shows that were on Disney Plus, because they are essential to understanding this movie. You can get it without seeing those, but it will make a lot more sense if you did see WandaVision and you did see What If, because there's a lot of elements of those two shows. It's kind of almost like a sequel of those two shows in this movie. This is very much a Wanda Scarlet Witch film, Doctor Strange film, and those are pretty much the two integral characters. So if you're thinking this is going to be some, movie that's going to be, bringing all these new characters in, these new facets from Marvel and all these things, I want to kind of bring your expectations a little bit down. And it's not to say that's bad, it's not. But Marvel, really what they do well is they try to bring that human element in there. Love. What will someone do for love? How far will they go? How far will they go this? What would a mother do to be with her children? And that is the essence of this film. That's not giving anything away because that's in the trailer. You already see it. But that is what this film is really about. There's some crazy spectacles going on, and it is fantastical. And there's a lot of horror elements coming into play. I mean, it is a Sam Raimi film, and it's almost like Feige said, Sam, I want you to make a horror film your style. We're going to give you the budget you always dreamed of. You're going to use Doctor Strange, you're going to use Scarlet Witch, you're going to use Wong and Christina Palmer. You have access to the multiverse, but make the film you've always wanted to make that's a little bit horror, a little bit scary, and just add something new to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And that's exactly what Raimi did. Now, some people love Sam Raimi films. Some people are on the fence about them. So if you are one of those that love The Evil Dead, Army of Darkness, you like the Spider-Man 1, 2, and 3, you're going to really enjoy this film because he does bring a horror aspect to it, but there's always a little bit of that wink that like, hey, we're having some fun here. Like, don't take it too seriously. It's not a James Wan Conjuring kind of a thing where it's really like freaks the shit out of you. It's not that. It is dark. It's violent. It's really creepy at times, but you're also laughing because a lot of times in the audience, people were just laughing out loud at some moments in this. I mean, there's elements where I was like, am I watching Michael Jackson's Thriller going on here? What's going on? What is happening here? And there's other moments where you're just like, this is kind of like a 70s, 80s, horror film, but obviously with much bigger budget. And it's got all those elements into it, but at the same time, it still has the heart. This video is brought to you by Secret Lab. Here at Geek Culture, we love our Secret Lab chairs, especially the all-new 2022 Titan Evo with its revamped 4-way lumbar system for enhanced back support. If PU Leather 2.0 isn't your cup of tea, then consider the all-new Soft Weave, even more soft and breathable than before. The chair comes in more colors, including this lovely frost blue. The Titan Evo is even magnetized, allowing the head pillow to stick on the headrest without straps. Of course, there are even more new features, so do check them out at secretlab.co. And I think that's one of the things getting into Scarlet Witch or Wanda Maximoff, what Elizabeth Olsen does so well in this film is she brings the heart. I mean, she's such a phenomenal actress. She really is. And if you had any other actor out there that didn't have the quality or the caliber that she had playing Scarlet Witch, this would not work. Because we saw her in WandaVision being such a, loving mother to her two children, even though they were technically real, but that motherly instinct that she has, that she just brings to the screen, it breaks your heart in many ways. Benedict Cumberbatch, Doctor Strange, once again, has knocked it out of the park. He's very funny in this film. He's got he's always a little bit, quick-witted and he's, but he's very funny in these moments. And he I mean, sometimes the jokes work and sometimes they don't, but there is a humor element. And I think that's something what Marvel wanted in this is that, yeah, we're going to go dark, we're going to go violent. At times we're going to scare you, but we're also going to make you laugh. And there was so many times in the audience, I'm looking to the left and right of me, and people were chuckling and laughing out loud at some of the comebacks and some of the lines, and even some of the more scary parts of the movie because they have these elements into it. And Benedict plays this very well. And I can see why actors love working with Sam Raimi, because this is just it's like kids in a sandbox going, play with any toy you want, do anything you want, and we'll make it work. And it's kind of like that. Christina Palmer, Rachel McAdams, she's an integral part of this film. And if you saw What If, especially the Doctor Strange episodes, you know how integral Christina is to Doctor Strange's storyline. And that is very relevant here. And the two have such great chemistry off another, but it works really well. I don't want to give much away, but I think fans are going to be pleasantly surprised how it's interwoven into it and how it works. What are things I can talk about that are in the trailer? The Illuminati. You are going to be introduced to the Illuminati of sorts. And I will say that it's going to shock some of you how it's portrayed. I think some comics fans out there will love it. Some may not. There is, like with anything in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, they take elements from the comics and they make it their own when they do a film like this, or any film for that matter. And you do see that in this. So I would say don't be so hung up on the comics going into this. Free your mind and just be, okay? Because there's going to be some elements that are going to shock you. And there's going to be some elements that you might be like, why did they do that? Or, oh my God, they did that. I can't believe they did that. And there were gasps in the audience at times going, I can't believe this movie went there. And it did. So I'm just kind of setting expectations for you on that. All right. Okay. It's just a spectacle. It is a visual spectacle. And I can see why they probably had to do reshoots because they probably want to cover some things. And you can see sometimes the continuity is a little bit off here and there, but that's minor technical things. But yeah, it's really an interesting film. And, when we were with a group of people watching this, and some people walked out going, they loved it. They were like, oh my God, I want more of this. And some people were like, I need to process this a little bit. I need to kind of maybe sit back and think about this film again, because it is different from the first Doctor Strange. It's very different from Avengers Infinity War and Endgame. It's just it's its own beast altogether. It really is. It's fascinating. Now, let's talk about America Chavez. She is also an integral part of this film. Her character, as you see from the trailers and from the comics, she has the ability to open up portals in the multiverse and travel through the multiverse. So that is something that somebody wants very badly in this film. And they will do whatever it takes to use that power. So she is sort of the I would say the MacGuffin in some ways to this. The Darkhold as well is also a big factor into this, and we saw a little bit of that in WandaVision, and that plays a major factor in this film as well. And you see that sort of in the trailers. So you are going to get elements of this mysticism, this magic, good versus bad, multiverse, all that come into play. Marvel does explain the multiverse quite well in this, so if you had any reservations, they do explain it, but I don't think the multiverse will be for all audience members watching Marvel movies. Some of those that just want more simplistic storylines may be going, I don't quite understand what's going on here. How does this work? How does that work? How do the rules work in this? It is a little bit confusing, and because the movie's only 2 hours and 5 minutes, you may need to watch this again to fully understand the multiverse and how it works. But they do a pretty good job of explaining it for the most part. But I will say that yeah, this is going to be a wild ride, folks. It really is. I will give a more spoiler review coming up in the few days, because I want everybody to watch this first. I mean, other reviewers will probably say the same thing. Watch this. Don't read the internet blogs or forums or Reddits. Stay off all that stuff. Just go in there with a fresh mind. Really enjoy the film if you really enjoy it, or if you like this kind of stuff. But it is different. It is dark. It is a little bit violent. That's why it's a PG-13 rating, so it may not be for young kids. It's got a bit of those horror elements into it, but it is going to take you for a ride that you did not expect going into this. Anyway, those are my thoughts on Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. What are you looking forward to most If you've seen the movie, what are your thoughts on it? Try not to spoil the film for anybody in the comments, okay? We want to keep it clean. We want to keep it easy so everybody can enjoy the film like we just did. So with that, guys, subscribe to the channel if you can. Like this video, helps us out a lot. Take care, stay safe, and I'll chat to you soon. Bye.